So let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Greg Moss. I'm a 30-year technology entrepreneur, and I am an expert in Clickfunnels and Odoo. I've created over 300 commercial websites over the years. You can see and check out more of my products and things that I have in odooclass.com or odooinnercircle.com. But let me get on to the beat of this and what I'm really here to talk to you about. What is Odoo? So I'm starting with Odoo because probably a lot of people, if you're coming from ClickFunnels, you don't even know what Odoo is. So I'm not going to give you everything about it. You can go to www.odoo.com, and that's where the application platform is. And the things about Odoo is 100% free open source, and it's a business application framework. Now, there is an enterprise edition available that you can pay license fees for that particularly gives you a lot stronger accounting features and finance and everything. But I myself run my own personal sites on the community edition. Secondly, it's a robust business applications are already here, and they're practically for any industry. So if you need purchasing, you need inventory, you need manufacturing, all kinds of shipping providers, real businesses run their companies on Odoo just like they would run their companies on SAP, Microsoft Dynamics. So Odoo is a platform that has full accounting and finance, for example, and those kind of things. Right now, with Odoo 14's release, it has a very powerful redesigned web designer and a powerful e-commerce platform. On the other hand, it does some things that Odoo doesn't do that really help for selling, and it's built in, and I'll go over those features as well. So it's not that Odoo does everything easily that ClickFunnels does, but Odoo has a very, very powerful web platform and e-commerce platform, and it's completely integrated with the back end with integrated accounting, integrated purchasing, inventory, manufacturing, CRM, point of sale as well. So if you go on and want to set up a point of sale system, you can. And remember, this is all open source, so if you need to modify it or change it or host it where you want, you can. So those are some things we'll get into when we talk about specific advantages and disadvantages. And then finally, Odoo is capable of implementing sales funnels and other kinds of e-commerce platforms, and I'm going to show you some examples of that and how that can be used. But it's fair to say that Odoo is very strong as a website builder. It's very strong on e-commerce. It has really strong back ends. But there's going to be some things that if you're coming from ClickFunnels that you're going to want to know and that you're going to want to use to bridge that gap so you can build your sales funnels easily and quickly in Odoo. And that's part of what I'm here to talk about, is how you can easily use Odoo almost as a replacement for ClickFunnels, because let's face it, Odoo's free, ClickFunnels isn't. So that's what we're talking about a bit here too for people where price is a concern. So next, what is ClickFunnels? Now, if you're a ClickFunnels person, that's easy. You know what it is. But if you're coming from the Odoo side, why ClickFunnels? Why don't I just use Odoo all the time? Well, ClickFunnels provides a very easy way to create sales funnels online. And I mean by very easy, it's probably is, as far as I've seen this platform, the easiest way where someone who has no technical expertise at all can completely go in and boom, they can make it. Now, with that, ClickFunnels is a paid hosted solution, and that means you have to pay to use it every month. And so it's $99, and this is a paid monthly thing. In my slide, I didn't specify monthly there, but it's $99 a month for one domain last I saw, and $300 for unlimited. They might have upped that $99 one to give you more than one domain. Maybe it's a couple now, but anyway, they have a very limited kind of version for $99, and then they have $300 for an unlimited domain. It's more powerful, but that doesn't even end there. You're going to have other monthly charges when you start trying to hook in some other types of software, like their Action EdX and some of their other tools, and you can get discounts, and I'll have some of those on my site that will help you with coupons and things like that. But it is a paid solution, so I don't think anyone sees that necessarily as a positive, except for maybe the fact that it does have a strong affiliate program. So that's we can get into that more later. But the thing that really what it is, and that's the third point here, is it's hyper focused on creating high converting sales pages. And I misspelled. I missed my L in sales there. But yeah, high converting sales pages. And that means that with very little effort, you can put together a page that's going to have a a high degree of conversion, and it's going to look pretty good. It's not going to take a lot of site design work. Odoo has good building blocks itself, and in some ways it can create very fast web pages just as fast, just as easily. But when it comes to the flow between them, ClickFunnels, hyper-focused on creating high-converting sales pages. It really helps from a funnel aspect to go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, from hook to story to offer to upsell, that kind of thing, to flow through the sales process. Odoo uses a more traditional e-commerce store approach, like like you would expect in like an Etsy or something like that, setting up a store like that, or an Amazon store. It also, the other thing I would say about ClickFunnels is incredible digital marketing and training and coaching tools. Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels, has amazing tools for digital marketing. Now, if you're watching this and reading this and you've actually even made it this far, then it's a result of at least my efforts in some digital marketing. I have almost 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I've sold, over 10,000 courses. And, I've built up other channels as well, like on Facebook and LinkedIn and so forth. And Udemy is another big spot where I have over 9,000 students on Udemy. So I know quite a bit about digital marketing, and I already came in, and that's how I established Odoo Class. That's how I established Odoo Inner Circle. I didn't build almost 10,000 subscribers in this channel in a day. With that said, ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson's digital marketing training helped me a lot. Even after over 15 years of digital marketing with the internet and really working on it, and I can honestly say I think that ClickFunnels and their various challenges, I'll link to them. I have a link down here to some of them, but it's the best digital marketing training you'll probably find. And it's integrated with the platform. So as you're learning all these digital marketing concepts, they have a great training program that's going to show you how to implement their solutions and how to implement what you're learning right within the platform. Now, what I'm going to help you with, if you're interested in Odoo or you're using Odoo, you can adapt a lot of the training that comes with ClickFunnels over to Odoo, or over to WordPress for that matter, or for Wix or other platforms as well. But it's you have to weigh that into how fast and easy it is to do in ClickFunnels. And then I would say that it's easy to use, but it's limited in functionality and scope. So it is just a sales funnel thing with some e-commerce tools. If you're going to build a full website, which sometimes you have to do, sometimes you do need lots of pages, and if you're going to need multiple web designers, if you're going to have more robust integration with like a back-end business system, like if you're a company that's working in accounting or finance, or you're working in manufacturing, distribution, and those kinds of things, having ClickFunnels can be really good for your front-end marketing projects. I think there could be a lot of value in just having sales teams that kind of are given ClickFunnels and free reign to go. The question is how do you tie all that in with your back ends and your accounting and everything? And the truth is, if you're making a lot of money, you don't care, and you'll figure that out. So $300 a month isn't a lot to spend when you're making tens of thousands a month, or even hundreds of thousands a month, which a lot of people do off ClickFunnels. I'll say that as part of their training. ClickFunnels, by far, more than any platform I know, has more where they've taken people that have not made any money on the internet and gotten them to making 5 figures a month, or even 6 figures a month within just a few weeks or even a month of time. There's literally been people that through their training and through their platform have become millionaires in a matter of a few months because they understand digital marketing so well. So ClickFunnels, for the training alone, if you're an Odoo person, you're thinking, just ClickFunnels, I don't need it. For the training alone, it's worth the price of entry to work through it. And then you'll have no problem if you're an Odoo expert, or even if you know Odoo moderately, you'll be able to implement most of the same features inside of Odoo. Odoo doesn't have a big functionality gap. If anything, it's got, 1,000 more features, but ClickFunnels is very sharp in the sales funnel, making it very easy to implement that specific thing. So that hopefully tells you where I'm at with it. And also, I use ClickFunnels to this day, particularly, to be honest with you, I used it a lot up until like Odoo 13 and Odoo 14. I used it, 2 years ago a lot to do prototyping. Their sales training is excellent, and I can quickly build a page, throw up a video on it, throw up my content, and was able to get sales and test out ideas and put them in front of people very, very fast. And despite even with my all of my Odoo knowledge, and I know Odoo really, really well, it's just when you're trying to achieve a certain objective, if it's going to take me time to wire in things to create a actual sales funnel with all the upsells and downsells and those kinds of things, then ClickFunnels is still the way I go for getting that process down. I want it because I don't know when it might change. With ClickFunnels, I can try different pages, reorganize them, easily kind of create my sales funnel without having to worry about any URL rewriting, without having to worry about posting and saving things into the database or which tools I'm going to hold together. Now, that really has changed a little bit with Odoo 14. Now, Odoo 14 has closed the gap even more. There's even more tools that like to count down timers. There's ways to get just emails very easily and push people on to the next pages. So the gap's closed. But what I can offer, and part of what I'm doing in this video, is I have some coaching tips and offers that I'm putting together so that if someone joins ClickFunnels through me or signs up for their 30-day challenge, I can provide them coaching and tools to help them both with ClickFunnels and how they would of course successfully navigate these training packages in ClickFunnels. But I can also help you if you wish to maybe try to get away from the $300 a month with ClickFunnels and go to a more robust business application platform that's going to give you a much wider range of options of what you can do with your business or with other businesses. Particularly if you really are serious about being a tech entrepreneur, it's going to give you a lot of range to have Odoo as one of the tools in your tool belt. So with that said, let me go over some of the strengths and weaknesses of each, like side by side, if we can see why, I think that one is better for some things and one is better for others. So ClickFunnels strengths: no configuration or setup server required, and you can say the same thing for Odoo Enterprise. So if you're using Odoo Enterprise online, it's a lot just like ClickFunnels, where you would just sign up and go. And we'll see that later in another video if people want, of where I'll actually show like Odoo for ClickFunnels users. Next, it's very easy to use for non-technical people, more so than Odoo when it comes to the finishing off of the entire process. Odoo has a very easy to use website builder, and you can build pages real easy, and it's easy to make them and so forth. But when it comes to actually creating the whole entire sales flow through an entire sales funnel, that's going to require more expertise in Odoo. ClickFunnels, it's very easy. And part of that is another strength, the number 3 strength there: automated URL writing of the funnel steps. In ClickFunnels, you can just reorganize the steps in the funnels, and there's plenty of examples of this. You can see plenty of basic tutorials on ClickFunnels. I'll make one for the Odoo people so they can see kind of how ClickFunnels compares to Odoo. But that automatic URL rewriting of the funnel steps, it makes it a little easier for new people. And I'm a tech entrepreneur. I know how to build a lot of these things, even if from scratch if I have to. And even I find it tedious as I'm reordering steps and working with URLs to reorder my steps using like a tool like Odoo as compared to ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is just very super easy at sales funnels. Also, another big one in ClickFunnels is the ability to do some mobile specific content and layouts. Now, that's kind of a nice thing in that, for example, in ClickFunnels, you can say in mobile, I want the font size to be smaller, or I want it to be bigger, or so forth. Now, Odoo does let you hide and show content in Odoo 14 if it's mobile or not mobile, and so by that very mechanism alone, you can create some better design pages that will work better with Odoo. And also there are ways that you can with CSS and with a little bit of technical expertise, you can, if you need, override fonts uh, without too much pain. If you're a little bit technical, you follow. I can give you those kind of tips or work through those things. But it just starts to move the technical barrier a little bit more when you want to do mobile specific types of things. That said, to be honest with you, I find myself fiddling a lot in ClickFunnels, going, okay, I'm going to try to make it look like this on mobile, and this, and back and forth and everything. And nowadays with bigger phone footprints and with reactive designs, and by the nature of Odoo's web-centric framework and its web-centric platform, it really isn't that big of a strength. Maybe you should. I like it. I think it's a strength, but I've never been like, oh no, that's the deal breaker for me, is I can't change the font size on mobile real easily within Odoo. But that's something I think is for some people that could be a bigger one than others. And then the other one I think is a huge strength, and it's probably maybe another one of the bigger ones for me, is that you can easily share funnels between ClickFunnels accounts. Like if you want, I can just say, hey, here's my funnel, and I can share it. I'm going to have some funnels that if you sign up with me and you work with me through the coaching programs that I offer, I give my funnels away for free that I do in ClickFunnels. In Odoo, your website is tied up with your database. I haven't delved enough probably in Odoo 14 as I could, and I will be in the next weeks ahead. There might be some better tools to move websites between one database and the other, but for the most part, because Odoo is a business application centered framework, and you're building companies and you're building product lists, and you have your e-commerce and your website and all these tools and the file stores. One of the beauties of ClickFunnels, I think it was a brilliant idea, is you can literally just give someone a link, and with that link, they get the funnel and they bring it in, and now they can change it, modify it, and do all kinds of things with it. It means it's easy to back up funnels in a sense. Like you can send them. They're always going to be there, but because of the cloud hosting nature, I guess that's not really as much of an issue. But that ability to do that, it means you can give it off to a web designer and they build something up. And then when they're done with it, they can just give you a link to the funnel, and then you pull it into your account. And there's lots of ClickFunnels designers on Fiverr. That's an upsell. That's a strength to me. That's probably one of the better strengths. Odoo, it's more like you back up your database. You'll get a database backup of everything, and then now you can move it to another installation and reinitiate that backup. It's a little clunkier. It can become a lot more complex, especially if you have all these other business applications tied into it. It's not just your website. So, in one hand, it's like you get a lot of strengths with Odoo, but with that comes complexity. And I don't think it's overly complex at all. I think Odoo has one of the slickest backup systems and abilities to restore back into these kinds of systems. It's just because of the complex nature of it. There's some steps involved, and I would say ClickFunnels is kind of revolutionary in the way you can share like basically entire websites by just having a link to them and pull them into your account. So that's oops, I didn't want to do that. That's a big one. I think it's great strength. It's great for prototyping. It's great for one-off promotions. It's great for getting your sales funnel down, and then maybe after you've made 15 grand a month off of it, you're making money on it. And then you start getting into some of the customer service things you need, some of the communication that you're going to want with them or internal employees, purchasing things you might have to do to fulfill things in your funnel. Then Odoo becomes very, very, it becomes attractive because you can move your funnel over into Odoo with moderate technical expertise. You don't have to be super technical, and with that, you get access to all these extra things. So a lot of times I would use ClickFunnels, to get something up going, get some money coming in, and get it off the ground. But because it is such a ClickFunnels is such a narrowly focused solution, and all it does is just kind of do that sales process, it also makes it really easy to pick it up and rebuild it in something like Odoo. I mean, theoretically, you could say the same thing about rebuilding it in WordPress, but I think WordPress is a horrible framework and platform compared to something like Odoo. It just isn't as well designed or as robust. But Odoo has come a long way also as well, and it allows people just much more flexibility. And it also has Clickfunnels, as I said before, the best-in-class digital marketing training. Like hands down, you will have probably not find anything that integrates learning how to sell on the internet with the tools to sell it. And so that's like if you're an Odoo person, that's why I would encourage you, especially through the link I had provided you below on that earlier screen, to check that out. Now, weaknesses, paid platform, and it's arguably expensive. $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year, and there are some discounts you can get and things like that. But it adds up. It's narrowly focused. It's got limited e-commerce functionality, meaning if you're going to set up and try to sell hundreds of products in an e-commerce store, ClickFunnels isn't your thing. Instead, it's more for really focused upsells on a handful of products that you drive through a sales funnel, which I think, and it goes back to why I think it's a valuable tool, helps you sell and make more money on the internet. If you are new to digital marketing, if you're new to sales, if you don't have a YouTube channel with 1,000 people or 5,000 people or subscribers, and you're like, well, how do I get started with that? Well, ClickFunnels, one funnel away challenge that you can get from my Odoo Inner Circle. You have a lot of options that are going to be available to you that you just aren't going to have when if you don't understand digital marketing. And so then when you go to Odoo and start trying to implement these things, you'll have a framework to work from. And that's, I think, what I would say is ClickFunnels does is, because it's so focused on sales and conversion and creating great sales funnels, it teaches you how to do that and gives you the tools you need to do that within ClickFunnels. You can reappropriate that to other platforms, and people shouldn't be afraid of that. If you get too married to ClickFunnels, I think it's easy to get almost like a cult mentality with it. And I felt like that myself because it is very, very attractive software training combined together with a very charismatic leader, Russell Brunson. And so moving, if you think of it as a narrowly focused thing, it gets done what you want to get done, but it's also a weakness, I think. It's also a hosted application with no source. That means that obviously you're paying. We talked about that as a weakness, but because it's hosted with no source, you are at the one size fits all. If they have a feature that comes in that you don't like, you're stuck with it. If they raise the price, you're stuck with that. If they don't like the kind of content you're hosting, maybe they don't want you to host vape products, or if you're in the marijuana industry, you might not be allowed to do that. Obviously, if you're in the adult entertainment industry, that might be a problem for them. Depending upon the types of websites you're running, that could be an issue, or it could be an issue of just, and I've seen this, performance issues, problems with domain resolution. They were using Cloudflare, and it went down, and they were down for a while. So I wouldn't say they're a bad host provider in terms of ClickFunnels, but I wouldn't say necessarily that you could achieve the kind of uptime you might be able to achieve with a well-managed solution of your own. And that's something to consider. That I've run hundreds of Odoo sites, and I've been able to keep them up for a year or more at a time with no downtime. I don't know that ClickFunnels has been able to achieve a like 99.999% uptime. And so that's why having it hosted with no source, you can't change it, you can't customize it. That's a weakness. Finally, I find, and this is a little more subjective, but I think I would say I find the web designer tedious. I find it difficult to bring content into. It requires multiple clicks a lot of times to change things. We're going to go through Odoo at in a video. It'll like walk you through them if people are interested in it. But there is a lot to be said about the fact that the web designer itself is a little clunky. Now again, that's subjective, but compared to maybe, especially compared here to Odoo, it's maybe a little utility-wise a little more frustrating at times. So also a weakness would be the professional templates are expensive. There's not a lot available anyway, and the ones that are available are expensive. They give you like 3 or 4 kind of generalized templates. With Odoo 13, when I with my packages that I would set up for my clients, I used all of the ones that were available with the community edition, and I think it was close to 25 different themes, and all of them with different color palettes and different options and widgets and things like that, and they're a lot more robust. So I would say Odoo has a huge edge in that their templates actually add additional functionality to the actual web application itself, where Clickfunnels templates, they're not just expensive, but they're also only adding layout, color, design stuff. They're not adding like a new type of plugin, for example, that maybe is it's kind of what's built into Clickfunnels is what you get with every template, where when you get different templates within Odoo, those templates often could even include extra functionality or extra utility and extra widgets and blocks and things like that as part of that. And it's customizable. So if in a sense you are doing a lot of the same things, it's certainly possible at Odoo to make your funnel building a little more easier and a little more plug and play. And that's something I'm going to be working with groups in my Mastering Odoo development to make Odoo a better platform for funnels. And next, I would say there's very limited, and the integration options are expensive. So I wouldn't say Clickfunnels has bad integration options, but because it is an online hosted platform, you're not going to ever get access to the backend data. You're not going to ever get access to directly. I mean, their API is pretty limited. They use Zapier, which is a great middleware. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but you're not going to be able to have the kind of robust API like you would have, say, with something like Odoo, where it's open source. And then finally, the biggest, it goes down with the narrow commerce. It's just there's no back-end business applications like accounting, CRM, inventory, that kind of thing. So whereas Odoo came from that background. Odoo came from inventory. It came from accounting. It came from manufacturing. And they built what I think is a pretty world-class web front end on it. And it's 4 or 5 years of iteration on this web designer. And it just really has gotten a new overhaul recently. So you're seeing like the cutting edge reactive type front end web designer put on a already strong accounting system there with Odoo. And that's a weakness of Clickfunnels. There's just really no strong back-end business applications around it. And also I can throw in there another weakness of Clickfunnels. It's hard to have multiple payment processors and let people pick from them. For example, if you start getting into any kind of real e-commerce type stuff with taxes and really like adding additional types of upsells and recommending products and things like that, you actually kind of get more of that flexibility with Odoo once you dig under the hood. It's just out of the box. It's going to take you a while to put together the kinds of simple sales flows and funnels that you have with Clickfunnels. And that's part of why I'm diving into this training myself, is to help people who really want to move kind of past the limitations of Clickfunnels into Odoo. So now we're going to look at Odoo. And you can see that's at www.odoo.com. You can get a free trial there. And you can also visit me at www.odooinnercircle.com or www.odooclass.com. I got all kinds of free training and free information on Odoo there as well. So the strength, it's 100% free and open source. Like I said, the community edition is 100% free and open source. It's very capable. It's what I use. The enterprise edition you'll have to pay for. It's also a complete business application platform: purchasing, inventory, accounting, and finance, HR reports, surveys, event management, restaurants, point of sale. It's almost like any kind of business application. There's something there for it. Extremely powerful web designer. It's a robust e-commerce platform with multiple payment providers, a full shopping cart, coupons, promotions. Um, it does recommend products when you purchase one. It's just more like an Amazon type of e-commerce flow. So if you really, when you're trying to go pure sales funnel, it's not in Odoo's wheelhouse. But if you're leaning towards like an Etsy store or Amazon, then Odoo is very competitive out of the box with that. It has a lot of useful utility there. It also, has a very accessible web front end in terms of building new pages and creating your sales flow. So with a little bit of training, like it's not going to take you like weeks and weeks to learn it, but with just a little bit of training, you can use Odoo to make sales funnels. And if you're willing to put up with a little bit of maybe differences here and there, then that would be a strength of Odoo, is that it is a very robust platform. It's also easily customizable and extendable. There's a built-in tools where you can actually customize it, modify your CSS, modify your HTML layouts. You can modify your JavaScript, all that kind of stuff. It's all open, freely accessible. And the things that are common, and like adding a little bit extra information here, changing your CSS, it's really pretty reasonable to do inside Odoo. So it's easily customizable, and people have built entire apps. As we said, again, it has integrated accounting and all kinds of business applications. In fact, there's thousands of applications available. Many payment processing options. So you get an idea of the strengths of Odoo. It's more stuff. It's free. It's very robust. You can host it yourself. You can host it on your own server. You can host it in the cloud, or you can use a paid enterprise version where Odoo hosts it for you, and there's a free trial for that. The weakness, if you're going to use the community version and host it yourself, it's going to require some technical expertise to set up. It is there's not mobile specific font sizes, and some of those mobile things are not completely easy to implement. If that's like a feature you're really excited about, yeah, that's probably going to be easier for you in ClickFunnels. Creating the funnel steps themselves require more standard URL website methods. In other words, you have to go and make it so that when you click on the button, it posts to a URL that you want to go to, and then you need to name a page with that URL to go to, and then on that page you put whatever you want. So it's not that hard. And then on that page, if you have a button or you have something else you want to post, then you need to say where to go. So you basically need to wire together your funnel steps, and it's something that's really cool that ClickFunnels has done, and we will be working and showing you how in Mastering Odoo Development you can build yourself some of these tools and make it easier for you to build your funnels in Odoo. And then finally, I guess this is a weakness. It's really not a weakness of the platform at all, but it just doesn't bundle together all those really cool digital marketing and coaching tools that ClickFunnels does. So that's where you're at with this right there. And that kind of gives you a good overview of all of these. Let's see. I would say that overall, if you are interested, I'll have some links below, but you can check me out on odooinnercircle.com, and I have basically their integration tools for Odoo, development tools, and things like that, as well as a complete Odoo Inner Circle that's used for helping companies and businesses, or if you're looking to implement a sales funnel, get one-on-one coaching and expert training, so you can talk with someone like myself that has done this, literally hundreds of times building these platforms, so that you're not alone. Because the one thing that I would say is, despite how great the training is with ClickFunnels, at some point you probably are going to want to have someone who's done it before, who's put these systems in place. And if you can get somebody at to get you over those learning curves and be your mentor, your coach through your first $10,000 a month kind of business, that's going to get you a lot further than trying to go it alone. That first 10 K a month, getting up that learning curve is really what I think, as far as many of us in the Clickfunnels coaching community and some of the other mentor groups I'm working with, and we just try to get people to that point. And so, if that's something that interests you from either an Odoo or Clickfunnels side, definitely reach out to me. I love working with new people on these projects. I do think that Odoo is a great platform. Odoo 14 is very, very powerful. And in a future video you'll see here, it'll be on my channel, I'm going to walk through the Odoo 14 features in their website builder as it would relate to someone that has been using ClickFunnels, and vice versa. I will take and make a ClickFunnels video that kind of walks through its features for those that are using Odoo. So this one is just kind of a dry walkthrough telling you about which of the features I think are better or not, and then now we can in future videos go through and you can see hands-on what I'm talking about in a little more detail. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and like at the bottom if you want to see more of these videos, and leave some comments so people can discuss and see what you guys think. If you're a ClickFunnels person, say what you might want to use with Odoo and take a look at that, and vice versa if you're someone who's in my channel primarily Odoo people who may be new to ClickFunnels. So look forward to chatting with you guys, and catch you in the next video.